All right, today what I'm going to do is copy this Joseph Clement Coll drawing, and I love the sketch in my sketchbook, which is why I'm going to just kind of, be playful with copying this, but, you don't have to take all of this super seriously either. I think sometimes it's just nice to not bite off too much more than you can chew. So even just doing a quick little sketch like this in your sketchbook, for me, is enough to feel like you did something in terms of studying somebody else's work. It doesn't have to be perfect either. So if you want to get good at sketching, I recommend you can either sketch all the time, something that I used to do, or you can even do copies of other artists' work to really understand what it is that they were doing. Joseph Clement Coll is a fantastic one. He's the golden age of illustration, and Edwin Austin Abbey is another one, and Howard Pyle. Trying to think, Franklin Booth is another one. And the beauty of their work is that it's not super stiff. So when I was in high school, I used to do pen and ink all the time, and it was very, very stiff. And I didn't know, no one was showing me that any technique, really. We didn't go over anything in high school. And the beautiful thing was that I sensed that there was something that was just missing from it. So when it came time to, not even college, I don't think I was shown it, but later in grad school is where I was really able to kind of jump in. And when I jumped in is when I started to kind of really dissect what it was about pen and ink. And it really had to do with being playful and taking risks, opening the line out a little bit. So, for me, I love to experiment, and I encourage everyone to always do that. It's something that you can do in your sketchbook, and what does it mean to be loose with pen and ink? I think sometimes being bound by perfection doesn't always help. So for me, it was to kind of let go. And what does that even mean? You don't really know until you're kind of in it and you're trying it out. So like lines like this are fantastic to kind of break up and copy. So one of the things that I began to do was to leave information out, and instead of copying everything, could you break the line up and let the eye kind of make up the middle? And it's something I continually do. Like that right there implies that there's a leg. and do you have to always put that in? The only way to really work with it is to, or understand that concept, is go do it 1,000 times. So I used to sketch, just go to cafes. Look at this. And this is just a Precise One rolling ball by Pilot. The whatever I had around, and this is just, no one ever told me to use this. This was just what I had, I think, at the time, and then I just went for it. The beautiful thing was that you can't erase, and I think that's the key. So I encourage everyone to go and draw from life and begin to kind of make marks and take risks. And I think you'll find that you'll find kind of somewhere you in there. It'll teach you how to draw too, especially if you're timid about drawing. The thing about a pen is that you can't erase, and therefore you have to be articulate with the lines. And you'll learn that very, very hard to do, but you'll begin to really kind of measure, I think, with your eyes. And this is something that I've just done for years. Grad school was, for me, 2000. 2005, 2006, and I've just kind of refined ever since. Look at, and you know, back in the day when artists would join an atelier, you know, they would look at, this is a hand coming down. The way he's doing that, he kind of shows it. How do you apply a hand, right? Artists would do master copies where they'd be copying the form. You know, the following the form. It's the way in which, you know, engravers used to draw, or still probably do, to really describe form by rounding it. So it's not just linear. One of the things I wasn't getting when I was doing it myself, you know, the sense of form, or anyone suggesting kind of that concept to me. And therefore, it's something that, as I understood form, I began to kind of get more of that into the drawings. So it's something that, you know, you can begin to kind of actively work through the information. You know, what does it mean to kind of balance a drawing, or leave something out? Like, I'm going with thin and thick lines here. Always designing. That's something that Frank Benson always said to his students. If you stop designing, you know, you're in trouble. And this is designing. It's learning what to leave out. There's some form right there. Learning what to put in, and also what to leave out. That's the design. You know, it's not just descriptive of everything. Economical, I think, with some of the stuff. Look at, so so what would it mean to kind of take this and tighten up the line here, which contrasts this over here in a smaller way, and then this comes up, this comes over. Not quite sure what this information is. And this comes over. Right? He's not drawing every piece of dirt. Just beautifully. And I remember just in high school, I used to draw like every leaf and everything. I think it's just part of human nature to describe everything. Sometimes it's the younger we are, the more we think that the more detail, the better the drawing or the painting. And then as we get older, I know I could care less about detail anymore. But of course, that's my opinion of it. Not to say anyone has to do any of that. Right, and then this has to come up. It connects over there. Nothing special about this pen. I think you can buy it at like Staples. All right, and then great way to kind of practice architecture as well. And just describing. They're not straight lines either. Describing the form, and then he's thickening up some of these to give a little bit more of definition. That comes down over. You know, and look at the lines. Just study it. So beautiful. Such an awesome way to just study artwork. Besides looking, which is incredibly important, recreating. I think you begin to see why they made the choices. And then maybe when it comes time, you'll make similar choices. you'll kind of pull from your bag of what you know. and again, this didn't take all that long, and I'm nearly done here. Just do like a sketch. I used to work as a character artist, one of the gazillion jobs that I've had, and I used to sit in Quincy Market in Boston and just sketch. I remember I used to sketch Quincy Market, and I'm sure they were not the greatest, but you got to get the kind of mileage and right now you see the scene. Look how he's kind of breaking up the space. Comes up. Clement Coll is just simply amazing. All right, and then over. See how thin these lines get? So he's taking and describing so much with this, but also balancing the drawing. That, and then up, and then just thin. That didn't extend it as much as I should have. Still get the gist of it. Again, a function of just letting go. These artists sometimes would do the same sketch over and over until they mastered it. It makes it look like they just kind of impulsively did it, but I'm sure he did it. Sometimes a couple times, or warmed up on the side. So it's, balanced drawing, in my opinion. Of course, he's going to I think one of the masters of pen and ink, Joseph Clement Coll. If you don't know him, look him up. Simply amazing, and you get a quick little sketch that you did in your sketch pad.